Hi there everyone, my name's Dave West. I hope we're all doing well. So welcome to this quick video showing the new Google Camera Go application. It's a very stripped back version of the very popular GCAM APK, which many of you may know and love, that's available on mid-range and high-end handsets. But Google Camera Go has been designed to work on a much broader range of Android phones. It doesn't really rely on them using a Snapdragon or in some cases an Exynos chipset. So it can run on a much bigger range of system on chips. So I've tried this on a MediaTek CPU running on a new mobile G3, which I recorded some video with yesterday, as you can see on the screen now. But for the purpose of this video, I've borrowed a trusty old OnePlus 6T from a family member, and I'm just going to show you some of the differences based on the stock video from the OnePlus 6T and also then the Google Camera Go application. The one thing I do need to make you aware of is obviously the OnePlus 6T has electronic image stabilization on its front-facing camera. However, if I switch to the Google Camera Go application, that doesn't have stabilization, but you tell me if you can see the improvements in the video and the audio quality. Alright, so this is the Google Camera Go application. Now a little bit wobblier, and this only records at a maximum of 720p, but what I've done for fairness is I've downscaled the video from the stock camera application to 720p so you can see a comparison. Now without the electronic image stabilization, that removes the crop from the front facing camera, so you do get a slightly wider field of view. However, you let me know what you think of the processing using Google Camera Go, and whether you think it's an improvement over the OnePlus 6T's stock video application. So I'll just stop here now and just pan around. So again, this is with the Camera Go application, and this is using the OnePlus 6T's built-in camera app. And again, this records at 1080p at 30 frames per second, but what I've done is actually downscaled it to 720p just to make it a little bit more of a fair comparison. But you let me know what you think of the difference the Camera Go application makes. Once again, with Google Camera Go, one thing I've immediately seen is that it doesn't blow out the highlights in the background with these trees, as I think I just saw with the stock camera application. And again, I'm getting a much wider field of view without any electronic image stabilization crop factor, which is cool. So I'll switch to the rear camera now, and again I'm going to just use 1080p at 30 frames per second, and I'll downscale that in editing just to make it a more fair comparison with the Google Camera Go app, which only records a max of 720p on both front and rear cameras. Okay, so we'll just start with a quick pan sweeper on this area here, and I'll just try and do the same shot with both the stock application and then the Google Camera Go APK. So don't forget, this is stabilized video with the OnePlus 6T. You can't switch it off with the stock camera application. However, I'm going to switch to Google Camera Go now, and you let me know if you can tell any difference in both the video quality and also the audio as well. Alright, so running now with the Camera Go application, and I'll just try and follow the same route as I did with the OnePlus 6T stock camera application. And immediately, if I stop here, because there's no crop from the stabilization, we can see more of these leaves in the shot than I could with the OnePlus 6T. But you be the judge, and you let me know what you think of the quality and if there are any differences. Immediately, highlight control is so much better. Those bits of water in the distance around here don't seem to be clipped as much as using the stock camera application. So that is with Camera Go. Okay, so back with the OnePlus 6T stock camera app, and we're just going to check autofocus and how that's handled between the two applications. But bear in mind, with Camera Go you will see a slightly different kind of framing because the 6T uses electronic stabilization, so there is a slight crop around the edges of the image, so the framing might look differently, so just letting you know that you may see a difference. So background, subject, and it gets a nice smooth lock on the plant closest to the camera. And here we are then with Camera Go. And to my eyes it's quicker, but the transition between the focus in the background and the subject does seem to be quicker, but there's less of a smooth gradual movement between foreground and background. If you look, just go back, see it's just kind of snaps focus there and then back this way. So the way the processing is handled between the stock application and Camera Go is slightly different, but again, you let me know both what you think of the image quality and also the sound as well. Can you hear any difference in the sound quality? Okay, so just to give you an idea of how the camera application looks, this is how it is. And if you know the Google camera application, aka GCAM, then you'll be pretty familiar with how it looks. However, it's, as I said at the start of the video, it's a much more stripped back version of that. So we can see on the side of the screen here, this shows us how many minutes we've got left based on internal storage. And I'm sorry about the actual orientation, but it'll take 160 minutes to run out of storage recording at the current format. We've then got the zoom. So let's just pick a subject and just show you how that works. So it's nice and smooth, but obviously you do lose some clarity and detail, but you can still use touch to focus if need be. And you've also got the slider at the top of the screen which allows you to change the exposure value, but you can't lock it, which is a little bit of a pain because obviously it will then change as you move around. Top left you've got the flash, which is just off or on, and then we've got control for photo, portrait mode, and then Google Translate, so you can actually point the camera at an article and then it will then translate that into any language that you see fit, as long as it's supported on Google servers. So you can see it's very, very simplified and easy to use. Now in photo settings there are a couple of things which are handset dependent and may not always be available on every phone, but you do get control over the flash. You also get control over face enhancement and also HDR as well. So you've got no HDR, auto or always on. So I always say leave it just in auto rather than force HDR, because you don't need HDR for everything, but that is just the options that are available. And you can also use the zoom tool as well. And again, this will also be hardware dependent on what type of lens your phone is using. But for the OnePlus 6T, I personally think that the photos from the Camera Go app are a little better, and at the end of the video I'll just show you a quick comparison of some quick shots I've taken on my little jolly on my daily exercise. Alright, so there's the end of the Camera Go video test and the end of my exercise for today. As always, you let me know what you think of the video quality between the OnePlus 6T stock camera application and the Camera Go video quality. Again, it's only 720p maximum for both front and rear cameras, but to my eye, the video quality and photo quality using the Camera Go application does seem a little better than the stock photo and video app on the OnePlus 6T. Granted, you get electronic image stabilization, but that's nothing a gimbal can't cure. Yes, it's extra expense, I know, but if you just want to add a little bit of quality improvement to your older phone, then Camera Go might be a decent bet if that is your kind of thing. I hope they do put some improvements into the application in future updates, but for now it's a good start, I think, and I think the improvements, especially on lower end hardware, are worth it. So if you've got any questions or comments about anything you've seen in this video, then please do let me know down in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're new around here, then please do consider subscribing so you don't miss more content coming on the channel like this very, very soon. But for now, this has been my look at the new Google Camera Go app. My name's Dave West, and I'll catch you guys later.